start the recording. So I'm grateful that you are here today. And if you're listening to this as a recording, I'm grateful you're doing that as well. If you have a copy of your guidebook, you can go along with that. You'll see many times that the slides or what I say correspond to that. I have added a few extra things that are not in the guide that we'll go over and discuss. And you may be seeing some things in there like coffee or whole grains, and you're like, but I can't eat that, or that's not good for me. That's okay. That's why I work with people one-on-one to determine that. But there are some people, because we all have different body types, different metabolic types, that different genetics, that coffee may help, and for others, coffee may be the absolute worst thing you can do. So this is basic information with studies attached to them that for some people, this could be helpful. For others, yeah, grains while you're healing may not be the right thing. For others, it might be the right thing. So as you listen, and I'm sharing my information from my studies, you are your own best expert. So tune in to what your body is saying. And if it says, hey, yeah, right now, oatmeal isn't something we should have, then you follow that. And that's what I do when I work with my clients, is we find out what is best for you. So without further ado, I'm going to start sharing my screen where I have my slides. So I shut my video off so that you can just fully see the screen. If you want to shut your video off, you can, or leave it on. I do ask that you mute yourself so that if you have any background noise. I have put a big old pink sign in neon lights that says I'm teaching a class, so we should not have any interruptions, but you never know. It's a brain thing. So, all right, share screen. And share screen, and we will slideshow. Oops. From beginning. There we go. All right, so I also need to bring up my notes. Hold on a second. I'm going to mute myself a sec. All right. I have my notes on my phone, and my phone is kind of broken, so didn't want you to hear me talking to it. It's like the brain of the phone. All right, and now I am going to stop my video. There we go. All right, so I want to welcome you to the top 12 foods for cognition and memory. And this is one time I'm going to ask if you want to, here we go. I'm going to ask you can unmute yourself at this point. What is your favorite food for the summer? For me, it's watermelon.
I was just going to say that watermelon. Yes.
Yes.
So good. So refreshing.
Yes. Water and limes.
Ooh, yeah.
And actually watermelon. So I used to have a booth at the county fair, and I brought my Vitamix and a bag of ice and watermelon and limes, and I would blend them up and hand them out in little Dixie cups, paper cups for a sample to show people they didn't have to drink soda pop or any sugar-filled drinks to still
Everything.
feel, yeah,
I
it was
bet,
amazing.
yes.
People were like, oh,
That sounds
so
delicious.
it's so refreshing, especially in the dog days of summer.
Mm.
I
So,
was going to say ice cold hibiscus tea.
oh yes,
For a drink.
yes,
Ice cold. Ice
it's
cold with lime juice and even chia
oh,
seeds if you want to. It is
oh
so good.
yeah,
Oh.
that would be good for you. Yeah,
Right.
that would
Yeah.
really extend the
This-
moisture quality of it all.
Oh,
I was just talking to somebody before this that it's starting to warm up enough I can make my sun teas. And hibiscus was the
Oh,
one that
that's
I like.
great.
Yeah.
Yes,
So you
Mm.
are my third sign, Beatrice, that I'm supposed to do that. So
that you should do it.
duly
And
noted. Exactly.
and remember that in Mexico we put chia seeds into everything cold that we're drinking.
Yeah.
What we called fresh waters
It's
are really
fresca.
a little fruit with water and a little bit of sugar if needed, and lime juice and chia seeds.
Mm,
Love that.
That's it.
yeah.
That's what we have at lunchtime and during the day.
Well, remember the ancient runners would take chia seeds to put it in their mouth as they were running from all these distances so they didn't dehydrate.
They still do. They
And they
still use
still
that.
do.
They still
Yeah.
do. The Tarahumara Indians, they still do.
Yep,
Great.
exactly. So for all of you listening, chia seeds are the thing to do.
Mm.
And I will do this, and I just realized I didn't. I'm gonna stop my share for a second and quiet the noise. Hello, Alice. We're just starting. In fact, let's see, there she goes. We're just starting, Alice, and we're talking about our favorite summer foods. And we all concur on watermelon. Limes are a part of that. We were talking about the benefits of chia seeds in the summertime to keep us hydrated. So what is your favorite summer food?
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. So for the summer for me would be definitely the fruits, which I just enjoy a broad variety. The melons,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I just bought actually cherries this week and tried some new fruits that I hadn't tried, were new to my market and just enjoying them. So really trying to use that as an alternative instead of turning to more sugary kinds of things that, when I have that downtime and if I'm a little bit frazzled, I just want to turn to, like I need something to eat. But fruits seem to be really responding to helping me to stay on track a lot
Perfect.
better. So, but definitely I like the fruit and it's robust options this year. I'm really proud our local farms are really stepping up and doing a job and getting them to our local market. So I think we're in certainly a much better place and different options.
Perfect. I love it. Yeah, I know in traditional Chinese medicine, fruits are good for summer heat, again, especially the citrus fruits, the watermelon more than any of the other melons. Then you also have tomatoes and cucumbers and things like that, which, botanically, some people call fruits because they are seed bearing. So, it's I live along the Minnesota-Iowa border, so it's just now, I'm still wearing a turtleneck and long sleeve shirt. So it's not warm enough yet, but it's definitely, July and August and even into September, we get some warmer temperatures where those foods really help us out. So how about you, Jennifer?
I'm a watermelon girl.
Yeah,
Watermelon cucumbers.
watermelon cucumbers. before you came on, I was sharing, I used to have a booth at the county fair for my business, and I'd bring my my blender and a bag of ice and cucumber and limes. And I would make a slushie with the watermelon and the ice and squeeze in a little lime, and to show people that you could stay refreshed and hydrated without having to drink well, around here, beer is really popular, but beer or sodas or any of these other sugar-filled type drinks.
I've had cucumber basil slush.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
Well, you could put live basil and cucumber, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, well, thank you. I appreciate hearing from you guys. One thing that I've mentioned, I was just starting to mention is, while I get my slide presentation going, for those of you who have been on my classes before, you'll see I'll shut my video off. And it's up to you if you want to shut yours off or not, but I do ask that people mute themselves because there can be background noise. I did put up a very big neon pink sign on my door that says I'm teaching a class, so hopefully my grandchildren will, and it's at their eye length, so hopefully they'll respond to that. But again, for those of you who know, I have two of my grandchildren living with me, so it's summer. Once in a while they'll pop in. But anyway. All right, I'm going to stop my video and stop hers, and then I'll get back to the screen share. There you go. All right. And as I was saying, just for your own benefit, you may want to silence your phone because it's really important to commit to being fully present in this moment. So you never know when a nugget will pop up. You probably know many of the things that I'm going to talk about, but once in a while, something might pop up there that you're like, oh, I'm glad I'm listening. And so have a notebook and pen ready to take notes. My intention here is to share with you information about how cognition and memory work in your body, and some reasons you might want to improve your memory and cognition, and then many of the top foods that could help you improve your memory and cognition. And as I mentioned before, this is just from my study and learning. And so many of it's general. Your own particular body might go, oh, I don't do well with that. And that's what we honor the most, because you are your own best expert. And know that I will have a time for question and answer after the presentation. All right. So if you've ever walked into another room and you've suddenly wondered, why did I even come in here? You can feel, especially as the older we get, we can feel a little panicked moment, like, am I losing my mind and my memory? Memory and cognition change as we get older, and it can feel like there's nothing you can do about it. But I disagree with many of the people who say it's just going to happen. It does change, our body changes, but that doesn't mean there aren't things we can't do to ameliorate that. So as you work to protect your mind, there's lots of things we might do. We might focus a lot on playing games, reading, doing puzzles, because that keeps our brain active. It keeps us learning and building those pathways. And it helps us feel like we're keeping our mind from worsening. So, along with working on the outward things that concern the mind, also focusing on diet and food choices can make that difference for a big impact on your results. Changing your diet and meal plan can give you a whole new lease on your memories and how your mind processes situations and information. Just a few simple changes. You don't have to do like radical changes, just a few simple changes, not only on what you eat, but also how you eat, can make all the difference in the world, whether you're getting up there in years or you just want to process faster. So now we're going to talk about understanding cognition and memory. We talk a lot about memory. It might be the memories of your favorite things from childhood, the emotional memory of seeing someone get married, or the physical memory of stubbing your toe on the same brick in the garden summer after summer. You know, right before we started this presentation, we were talking about summer foods. And you may have memories come up about your summers, about the foods you would eat, the things you would do in the summer. And those are things we want to keep. All those memories, along with how you process information, go back to one simple place in your body, your brain. Our body also has its own set of memories, but the processing happens in your brain. At its core, cognition and memory work hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. Memory is the idea of cognitive retention over time. When your brain learns something new, it then retains it and makes it a memory. Your body does the same thing. The more often you go over something, the easier it is to recall later and can form the backdrop for the next cognitive step in the learning curve. The first few times you work to learn something, your brain launches into an active process where each step is analyzed, thought about carefully, and then lodged as a subconscious memory. Those memories pile up and form new pathways in the brain, which you're then able to recall when you need them. And when you do that in combination with your body, it makes it more powerful. Cognition is the active process you use to learn those new things, and memory is the backbone to recall it and process things more quickly in the future. They work hand in hand to form all the processes you encounter in your life, from learning to ride a bicycle to the complex steps needed to perform brain surgery. So why should we improve memory and cognition? We often think of cognition as something that eventually ceases when we become adults. And after all, we're not in school any longer. Well, some of us, I think I'm a perpetual student, but many people say, well, I'm not in school. So, learning, that whole process of learning seems to slow down and maybe even stop in some cases. Working to improve memory and cognition has an impact on every area of your life, from how you view others to how you handle a new and challenging project at work. Instead of always feeling a step behind or struggling to keep up with the latest and greatest things that are happening in your job, improved cognition and memory can keep you on the cutting edge. The more you work to improve your memory, the easier it is to pick up on new things and make changes to your life. So now we're going to talk about what I consider the top 12 foods to improve memory and cognition. It is not these are not the only foods. And actually, I snuck in a few more that aren't in the guide. So let's say this is the top 15. Your brain needs fuel, just like the rest of your body. And the type of food you choose makes a big difference in how well the brain can process. Not only does food make a big difference, but it's also one of the cheapest and easiest ways to develop your personal health. Small changes are what health is all about, and changing just a few things in your diet can change your mind and put your body, and as they work together, you can do this all in a faster period of time than if you didn't. So here are the need to knows. Omega-3 fatty acids reign supreme. Fatty acids, DHA especially, which are found in fatty fish, and ALA, found in foods like flax and walnuts, are essential for brain function. You want to skip processed foods. These are foods high in saturated fat, salt, and sugar, because they have all been linked to impaired cognitive function. And you want to start these healthy habits as soon as possible. Doesn't matter your age, just as you get the knowledge, you start those habits. Because while the earlier you incorporate healthy habits, it's the better. It's never too late to see positive improvements. So what makes something a brain food? And I'm just going to take a sip here. In the same way that some foods are thought to help support sleep, gut health, and blood sugar, there are brain-boosting foods worth incorporating into your meals too. Admittedly, identifying which foods are good for the brain does take some research, but it often boils down to their vitamin, mineral, and macronutrient content. Some foods like fish and nuts are widely recognized brain foods. This is because fish is rich in the omega-3 DHA, as I said before, which promotes early cognitive development and strengthens cognition through a person's lifetime. While nuts are loaded with antioxidants that combat oxidative stress in the brain. Still, there are plenty of other grocery items like kefir and lentils that can bolster cognitive brain health too. Oh, let's start at the beginning of the day. Many of you may reach for a cup of coffee or tea to get the day off on that right foot. And luckily, that habit could be good for your brain. The caffeine that's packed into each cup has a unique effect on the mind. As it reaches in and touches the mind, it boosts the way your mind takes in and processes information. The caffeine itself helps make the brain run quicker and keeps it running even when you're not consciously thinking of things. Now, you may be going, but I don't drink coffee. I don't even drink black tea. Well, maybe we'll talk more about this, but there are other options, and some people don't do well with caffeine. This is only one of the items on this list. So we'll go on here. Caffeine, the caffeine that's packed into each cup has this unique effect on the mind. I think I told you that already. Never mind. Yeah, caffeine is full of antioxidants, which helps you detox the body, and it helps continue to process things much better. Neuropsychologist Kendall Maxwell thinks green tea should be at the top of any brain food list for its energizing properties. Plus, she adds, this sip positively affects brain functionality. According to research, green tea is loaded with antioxidants that can improve cognitive function and improve your mood. Green tea also has a huge helping of L-theanine, which is designed to help you manage stress and anxiety. With feeling less stress and anxiety and it flooding your system, your mind can capture and retain information, leading to long-term memories that boost your cognition. So green tea is an option. I know some people like matcha, which is a form of green tea. So this is where you take this information, you can try it out in your body and see how your body responds. This is one of those add-ins that is not in your guide. Water, another brain healthy beverage that's especially helpful for achieving focus and combating brain fog is water. One of the researchers that I just spoke about, Kendall Maxwell, said, I feel like water is overlooked when it comes to brain food lists. So the next time your focus is off and things feel a bit muggy, try sipping some water and see if it helps. And feel free to give it an upgrade with some herbs or fruit infusions too. That basil would be good in here. Another item that is not in your guide are lentils. Lentils contain fiber, protein, and folate, each of which boasts brain healthy benefits. According to nutritional psychiatrist and mental health advocate Drew Ramsey, folate is one of the most studied nutrients in terms of mood and depression. Research shows that those with depression are often low in serum and red blood cell folate. The fiber in lentils can also support healthy blood pressure throughout the body and brain. Dr. Ramsey likes to enjoy them in soups, salads, and side dishes for a tasty brain boost. And I made lentil soup just the other day. My grandkids actually love it. Okay, whole grains. So there's many people who know that whole grains can be good for the body, but did you know they also do wonders for the brain too? Now, again, whole grains are one of those things that some people don't do as well as others do. Some people actually do better incorporating whole grains. Again, this is where we check in with our own body and see how it responds. So wheat, oatmeal, barley, and brown rice are examples of the best types of whole grains that help your brain function as it should. These are full of vitamin E, which in turn helps eliminate free radicals within the body. Free radicals destroy neurological function. Getting rid of them in any way possible protects the brain and lets it continue to retain information more naturally. In a study of 3,326 older adults, the average age was 75. Those eating 3 or more servings of whole grains per day had a slower rate of decline in global cognition, perceptual speed, and episodic memory compared to those who ate fewer than 1 serving per day. These results were statistically significant for the group as a whole and for African American participants who made up 60% of the study population. But it did not quite reach statistical significance for white participants, who made up a smaller portion of the study population. I was sharing this with my youngest daughter, who is, her favorite class so far has been medical anthropology. And these are the types of things she's been studying as well. So we had a lot to share on that. The researchers also discussed potential mechanisms through which whole grain consumption could impact cognitive function. These included metabolic pathways involved in glucose homeostasis, inflammation signaling, and homocysteine levels. So adding plenty of these whole grains to your diet lets your body process it completely naturally. Supplements can be full of other chemicals that keep your body from doing what it should. Skipping those chemicals and opting for something more natural is the way to go. So there's good fat and bad fat. Fatty fishes like salmon and tuna, not in a can, are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, also known as nutrition's cognitive function superstar. Harvard-trained nutritional psychiatrist Uma Naidu recommends adding them to your weekly dinner menu, STAT, to support mood balance and mental resilience. While larger fatty fish often hog up the spotlight when it comes to marine cuisine, swimming with brain-healthy benefits, nutritional psychiatrist and mental health advocate Dr. Drew Ramsey notes that smaller fish, including anchovies, are also great brain foods. Anchovies pack a ton of omega-3s, and because they're tiny delicacies, they're less likely to contain harmful pollutants like mercury, so you can be free to snack away. Just be aware of the salt content. As these omega-3 fatty acids flood your body, they pull out and lower the levels of beta amyloids in the blood. Beta amyloids cause damage in the brain and can eventually lead to Alzheimer's. Making a choice to swap out foods full of bad fats for something lighter and full of omega-3 fatty acids is one of the best things you can do for your mind and your body. You know the saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, according to findings published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, a handful of blueberries a day can improve your brain health. So during the placebo-controlled trial, 61 healthy men and women drank a beverage with 26 grams of freeze-dried blueberries, while the others drank a matching placebo. Over 12 weeks, those who drank the blueberry drinks saw improvement in memory, focus, increased blood flow, and lower blood pressure. In addition to blueberries, other berries, including strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries, are what Dr. Nicole Avena, who's a research neuroscientist, calls antioxidant powerhouses. Antioxidants play a key role in cognitive strength as they fight free radicals and reduce oxidative stress, making it possible for more cells to function at a high capacity. As a result, Dr. Avena says that eating berries may help improve your motor skills and cognition. So throw a handful into your oatmeal, your smoothies, yogurt, or baked goods for a quick brain boost. And there's nothing quite like a crisp blueberry, strawberry, or blackberry in your favorite parfait, or even just by themselves. But the benefit of berries go way beyond just the flavors of your favorite snack. Berries often have benefits that go beyond just the body and focus on the mind. All the different types of berries are packed with flavonoids, which are found in the pigments of the different types of berries you find in season. This makes them colorful, but also helps to improve your overall brain function. Eating just a cup of berries each week can slow the decline of your cognition and memory by up to 2.5 years. It's no wonder that you'll find berries in so many go-to healthy dessert recipes. So, craving chocolate? you might want to reach for a piece of dark chocolate or two. In addition to being an antioxidant-rich food, dark chocolate is also swarming with cocoa flavonols that can improve cognitive function by reducing brain fog and fatigue and sharpening concentration. I think everyone loves a little bit of chocolate in their daily life. Even that little bit of sweet goodness can do wonders for your brain. Dark chocolate is packed with plenty of caffeine, which packs a punch in just a small package. So while you might be imagining having a half of a sweet sugary chocolate bar a few times a week to improve your memory and cognition, think again. The way to get the most benefit from dark chocolate is to ensure that it's at least 70% dark, so you get the most bang for your buck. So skip the semi-sweet and milk chocolate and choose 70% dark chocolate a few times a week so you can get the most out of it all. Now, if you've never had dark chocolate and you try it and like, whoa, people eat this, start out smaller, maybe go to 55% and just have a small bit of that. I started doing this a few years ago when dark chocolate started being a thing. And now I can have 90, 100% dark chocolate. I actually don't even like milk chocolate anymore. So beans, another one that's not in your guide. Beans truly are a magical fruit, and not just because of their fiber content. Research also shows legumes are great for cognitive function and preventing cognitive decline, especially in elderly individuals. And this goes right along with the lentil legumes. Fluffy scrambled eggs in the morning can be one of the best breakfasts on the menu for your memory and cognition. Not only are they packed with protein, they're also full of a whole range of B vitamins, including B6, B12, and B9. This combination of vitamins prevents shrinkage of the brain and mental decline as you get older. Egg yolks are loaded with choline, a nutrient that plays an important role in neurotransmitter functionality and increases dopamine, the happy hormone. So that dopamine receptor density is what's really increased. So whether you like your eggs scrambled, fried, or sunny side up, adding whole eggs into your diet is an easy way to boost your cognitive function. Eggs are also one of the most versatile ingredients in the world, so the recommended serving is 1 egg per day, and you can get it however you like it best. Like I said, you can do scrambled, fried, but you want to be careful how you do that. Pickled, hard-boiled, soft-boiled, you name it, and there's an option to get plenty of eggs in your life. At some point in your childhood, you were probably encouraged, strongly in some cases, to eat your broccoli and clean up your plate. Broccoli is one of the best foods for your body and your mind, and you don't have to take your caregiver's word for it all. Veggies like broccoli are packed with glucosinolates. When combined with water, this compound produces isothiocyanates, which in turn protect the neural pathways in the body. A chemical known as sulforaphane, which is found in cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, can help improve cognitive functions after a traumatic brain injury. When it is administered to the body, the chemical helps in reducing swelling or edema in the brain. Studies also suggest that the sulforaphane in broccoli, which also has antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, can help rebuild damaged neural cells in the brain. Even if you don't love cruciferous veggies, their benefits can't be denied. Eating just 1.5 to 2.5 grams each week can keep your body and mind in great shape. Bright red tomatoes are one of the best things about summer, whether you choose to eat them whole or you can them or just use them as a garnish on a salad. I know our tomatoes in my garden don't usually show up until probably August, September in that area, but it'll tell you we just go out there and pick them and eat them like you were pulling an apple off a tree, and you could just feel the sunshine. You can taste the sunshine in it. Each little red orb is packed with lycopene, which has been shown to keep cognitive disorders, specifically like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, at bay. Tomatoes also have a decent amount of potassium. We know that potassium helps power the heart and plays a role in nerve function throughout the body. However, one recent study found that people who consumed more potassium and less sodium had better cognitive function. Another study considered how carotenoids, the antioxidants that color vegetables, affect brain health in the long term. Researchers found that people with higher blood levels of lutein and zeaxanthin, both present in cooked tomatoes, had lower rates of dementia. Lutein and zeaxanthin are also known for protecting eye health as people age. Often we worry and stress that all the benefits from foods don't come into play unless you just eat the tomato raw like an apple, which is still delicious. A raw tomato is naturally low in sodium, is low glycemic, and contains about 1/2 cup of water, which makes it an excellent food for hydration. Certain antioxidants, such as lycopene, lutein, and zeaxanthin, are more available to be absorbed by the body when a tomato is cooked. Antioxidants can help combat free radicals, unstable molecules that damage the body's cells and can lead to cancer. So, as you can see with tomatoes, no matter how you like to enjoy them, there's benefits to have some each day. Just like fatty fish, nuts and seeds are packed with omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants. All those little morsels of goodness are good for your body and your brain. Not only are they low in calories, but they also help protect your body from oxidative stress caused by free radicals. Vitamin E is the main component of nuts and seeds that truly protects the body and the brain from the onset of Alzheimer's, as I've mentioned before. So sunflower seeds, almonds, and hazelnuts are among the best when it comes to getting your daily dose of vitamin E and antioxidants. Even including them in a salad or adding a few nuts to your trail mix for an afternoon snack can help you get plenty of vitamins and minerals for the day and protect your cognition and memory. And it's a happy coincidence that walnuts look like miniature brains. It's that doctrine of signature. They're considered one of the best brain foods in existence. While not a low-calorie food by any means, Dr. Nicole Avena, again, the research neuroscientist I referenced before, she's also the author of a book called Sugarless. She explains that the walnut's caloric density comes from its high omega-3 fatty acid content. This is what makes the plant-based snack so great for cognitive function. Just 2 tablespoons of walnuts a day may help protect the brain from oxidative stress damage and prevent cognitive decline. My favorite way to have walnuts is on top of a salad to add crunch. I don't need croutons. Kefir, or as my original teacher called it, kefir. Kefir is fermented milk made using kefir grains. It has a similar consistency to thin yogurts, and it's typically sipped, not scooped with a spoon. Mental health advocate Dr. Drew Ramsey loves kefir because it's packed with probiotics that support microbial diversity in the gut. And thanks to the gut-brain connection, probiotics seem to positively affect brain neurotransmitter pathways as well. Avocados. There's a lot more benefits to avocados than just making one of the most well-known millennial snacks of the age. As has been shown here with other foods, omega-3 fatty acids, often referred to as essential fats, play a pivotal role in the brain development and function. Docosahexaenoic acid, or DHA, and icosapentaenoic acid, EPA, are two key types of omega-3s that are prominently found in fatty fish, flax seeds, and avocados. These fats contribute to the structural integrity of brain cell membranes, ensuring fluidity and effective communication between nerve cells. High blood pressure can cause cognitive decline, especially as you age and continue to, excuse me, eat too many processed, highly saturated foods. So to fight back high blood pressure and protect your brain, eating more monosaturated fats evens out the issue and protects your brain. And there's nothing better or more packed with monounsaturated fats than avocados. Monounsaturated fats are often lauded for their heart-healthy benefits, are equally vital for the brain's vitality. These fats, which avocados are abundant in, provide a stable energy source for brain cells. In fact, the brain's gray matter, responsible for processing information, is rich in these fats. Avocados have a wide range of uses, from creating guacamole to being used in sushi. Added to a sandwich or slice some up for your salad. Just a few changes and additions to your diet with some avocados in your favorite recipes can help you get plenty of those monounsaturated fats and give you a new favorite or two. Changes in your diet don't have to mean losing all the spice out of your life. Turmeric is a spice that has been used in a wide range of cooking and different cultures for thousands of years. In addition to spicing up dishes, turmeric has several anti-inflammatory properties that make it a great choice for keeping your brain in good health. Besides being anti-inflammatory, it's packed with antioxidants that keep moving the free radicals out of the body. As they're moved out of the body, cognition and memory are protected. Turmeric can also increase levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, a brain hormone that may help keep your brain more nimble and better able to fend off age-related cognitive decline and dementia. For instance, some research, including a 2019 systematic review in the journal Nutrition Research, supports the use of curcumin supplementation for increasing BDNF levels in the body. In another study, a group of researchers at the University of California, Los Angeles, wanted to test the effects of curcumin on memory and attention in adults who did not have moderate or advanced dementia. They studied 40 adults between the ages of 51 and 84, about half of whom took a curcumin supplement daily for 18 months. The other half took a placebo or fake pill. Those who took the curcumin experienced improvement in memory and attention and a decrease of accumulation of beta amyloid and tau protein, the proteins associated with Alzheimer's disease in parts of the brain. And a little sip there. The spice can be easily added to everything from stir fries to your next barbecue or rice dish. Just a few teaspoons each week can change the way your body processes and deals with excuse me. There you go. More reason for hydration. So turmeric can change the way your body processes and deals with inflammation and free radicals. And it's tasty too. Your brain needs sleep just as much as it needs food to stay healthy and on the cutting edge of life. Turkey and chicken are packed with tryptophan, which is a protein that your body utilizes to make serotonin and melatonin. Both hormones help you stay relaxed and get a good night's sleep, which in turn lets your brain heal and be rejuvenated for the next day. Better sleep is one of the best things you can do for your mind. If you've ever been upset, frustrated, stuck in a brain fog late at night, then gone to bed and woken up with a whole new approach the next day, you've seen the health effects of serotonin and melatonin. Without taking a sleeping aid at the end of the day, putting more turkey and chicken into your diet helps your body naturally relax and sleep better. The better you sleep, the more well-protected your brain will be. Turkey and chicken also contain a fair amount of selenium. We understand that selenium helps the brain by reducing free radical damage, providing protection against oxidative stress that degrades brain cells, and offering a barrier against some of the mutations known to cause DNA damage. The bird of choice for Thanksgiving dinners also contains tyrosine. This amino acid helps memory and cognitive performance. It is a precursor to dopamine, which we know helps our moods. It also helps our attention spans and our capacity for learning and even emotional responses. Zinc, popular for its immune boosting powers, is found in the meat of turkeys and chicken. It also has beneficial impacts like the neuroprotection provided by selenium. Zinc can also provide protection for nerve cells from damage. Choline is a vital nutrient for brain function that we must obtain from our diets. Turkey and chicken are a great source of this precursor to the neurotransmitter acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is important for mental focus and concentration to finally beat your opponents in Scrabble after dinner. So we've talked about the best foods. What are the worst foods for brain health? Surprise, surprise, right? As far as foods that aren't so great for your brain, ultra-processed foods such as cookies, candy, fast foods, things like that, earn the top slot. These foods tend to be nutrient poor, calorically dense, and high in sugar, salt, and or fat. So red meats, foods high in saturated fats, sugar, and sodium can also harm brain health. And this is from neuropsychologist Dr. Kendall Maxwell. She says it's due to their negative impact on the gut microbiome and heart functionality. So we've got ultra-processed food, sugary drinks and energy drinks, foods fried in seed oil, sugar-sweetened candies, cookies, pies, and so forth. While we don't want to rely on supplements, what are the best supplements for brain function? So, while it's always smart to take a food-first approach to supporting brain health, these supplement ingredients have also shown promise in supporting cognition. So, as we talked about before, curcumin. Research shows that curcumin, an active compound in turmeric, can enhance DHA synthesis in the brain, which can improve cognitive performance and reduce the risk for neurocognitive disorders such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, among others, as well as anxiety disorders. Vitamin D. Research suggests that those who are deficient in vitamin D might be at greater risk of depression. You can find vitamin D in certain foods and get it from sunlight, but supplementing tends to be the most reliable and effective way to reach sufficient levels. And if you're like me, who has a genetic SNP called the VDR, which stands for vitamin D receptor, I would have to live somewhere else other than where I live, but I could be in New Mexico 24/7, 365 days a year, walking around naked, and I still wouldn't get enough. My vitamin D levels would not ever be good enough. So, and my two grandchildren, I finally found a doctor who would get them tested for vitamin D. And my granddaughter was a 7 and my grandson was a 14. And so rather than put him on medication, he has them taking high dose of vitamin D to help with their anxiety and moods. I'm glad I found this doctor. He's a psychiatrist. Anyway, acetyl L-carnitine. So one supplement for brain health on the list that Dr. Avina shared, acetyl L-carnitine, which is also known as just acetyl carnitine. It's an amino acid essential for energy production and affects the brain to promote healthy memory, lessen mental fatigue, enhance mood, and support acetylcholine production. Studies also suggest acetyl L-carnitine can help slow cognitive decline in patients with dementia, though more evidence and research is needed to support its clinical use. Acetylcholine. This bioactive has been shown to support cognitive health and well-being by protecting the brain from neuroinflammation and modulating healthy levels of several neurotransmitters. Of course, omega-3s. You can find brain-critical omega-3 fatty acids in supplements as well as food. Plant-sourced caffeine. You can actually get that in a supplement form. Research shows that caffeine can improve memory and cognitive performance, as well as offer neuroprotective benefits. And lastly, L-theanine. L-theanine is a phytochemical found in green tea that's been shown to promote a relaxed, focused mental state. Just some other perspectives on brain food. While all the foods in this list offer brain benefits, you can't just eat them once in a blue moon and expect your cognition to improve long-term. Rather than lean on these brain-boosting snacks like a crutch, you'll be better off incorporating them into your diet regularly. Again, according to neuropsychologist Dr. Kendall Maxwell, there is no one brain food better than the others. Eating a variety of nutrient-dense foods and limiting highly processed sugary foods throughout your life is what will make the biggest difference in the long run. As far as which overall diet is best for brain health, the research is mixed, but the Mediterranean diet, the MIND, M-I-N-D diet, and Japanese diets all seem to be protective. And when asked about the best foods for brain health, neurology experts often recommend options like berries, fatty fish, and kefir, thanks to their antioxidants, healthy fats, and probiotics. But when it comes to brain health, consistency is key. Eating a handful of blueberries won't make much of a difference if your overall diet is nutrient poor or ultra processed. So instead, aim to work a variety of the foods on this list into your everyday routine to support your noggin. Protecting your brain, including your cognition and memory, doesn't just start with doing puzzles each day or downing a handful of supplements. It all starts with your diet. Food has a massive impact on how your brain works and how it fends off cognitive issues as you age. The little changes that you make can keep your cognition and memory going long after you think growth and development has stopped. Even little things make a big difference. The better your memory is, the better your cognition. The easier it is to keep up with all the changes that happen in your life. It all starts with those daily choices. Mixing things up and choosing something different can give you back a whole new lease on life. And that's a wrap. So if you want to reach out to me with questions, comments, concerns, you can email me at lynn.deboer.johnson@gmail.com. You can go to my website, feedingyourhealth.com. I have a Facebook group called Sage Wisdom. When you go to my Facebook, or not my Facebook page, my website, you'll see something there that says schedule your free consultation. And you just click on that button and it will take us to some time together. So the floor is open for Q&A. All right. Oh, I was going to start talking and realized that you couldn't see me. So I know I shared a lot. You are now free to start your video. Let's see here.
Lynn,
Yes.
this is Alice, and it was an excellent. I wrote so many notes, and thank you. I've been to sat with doctors that have never given me the level of information you provided today. So first, I literally just need to tell you that
Thank you.
I cannot thank you enough. Just the way you've explained it, the way you presented it, and it just seems simple. It's things that I can do. It doesn't seem overwhelming.
Yes.
But Lynn, I'm going to ask you this. I've struggled with, and I don't want to go too far into this, but as I've gotten older, to my middle 60s, going into my late 60s now, but an oncoming onset of vertigo.
Oh,
And I just have really challenged myself. I've just started taking some things. I've been reading about it, but in just some of the things that you talked about today and changing really some of the diets, watching how I'm mixing some of these together. Any thoughts, any recommendations? But I don't want you to go off path because this is not what this session is about. But it's really odd that it's come and it's just seems to be creeping into my life, and it can make changes when all of a sudden the room starts spinning. So
that and how do you feel when that happens? Like you said, it just starts and the room starts spinning. And so how do you feel when that happens?
Anxious, quite
Yeah.
honestly, nervous, and I think, Lynn, more concerned that as they've gotten closer together, sometimes that am I really able to, am I going to be able to drive okay today? Because you just never
Right.
know when it's going to happen. And I, so it's, and yet I'm not accepting that I'm going to limit my way of life. I'm just trying to accept that I've got to get to some of the root causes, the things that I can change.
Yep.
I've been to 3 doctors now and nobody seems to really have an answer except, yeah, that can happen later in life. But so I'm just
I
digging.
refuse to accept that. I'm 65, so
Yes.
I hear these things and I'm like, I refuse to accept that is our lot in life. Things can happen though, but I don't think it's necessarily always age related.
Mhm.
My first thought is, in the doctors you've seen, have you seen a chiropractor?
I have not. Someone did recommend that, though. I will say to you, a friend recommended it, not a doctor, but yeah, as a
No,
thought.
yeah, that was the first thing that came to my mind. So there are crystals that can form in your middle ear,
Uh-huh.
and there's something called the Epley maneuver that your chiropractor can help you with that affects that functioning
Okay.
in your pineal gland. That's
Yes.
the word I was thinking of. And so that would be the first place that I would look at. Definitely staying hydrated. Now, often when we talk about staying hydrated, we think of water. So first of all, watch your urine output as in color. Is it, too dark? Is it too light? Because
Okay.
I know a lot of people drink almost too much water, but their body isn't absorbing it.
Okay.
So helping your body to absorb the water, and that's where putting maybe some good like Celtic salt or something in there. You can buy, oh gosh, electrolyte powder.
Yes.
That can be helpful too. They
Okay.
actually make homeopathic drops called Rehydrate.
Okay.
um, put some of that in your water. So you want to make sure your body and your brain is absorbing that water. So those, and then do you exercise? Do you walk
I
specifically?
walk. When I really get into it, when I'm into it, it's like I'm really rolling because I'm hitting the stairs in my building, climbing 5 several times a day. I walk 3 miles, but now the walking has made me a little nervous just being outside by
Sure,
myself because,
sure,
yeah,
totally get that. So I guess what the thing that it's the cross training of your brain. So even if you're walking, just walking in place, make sure
okay,
that you're using your hands and get that, because that's going to get that cross with your brain.
sure,
Kind of like I have a grandson that's 8 months old, and they were almost trying to get him to walk before he actually crawled. And I said, worst thing you could ever do, because so many kids are developing not brain disorders, but their learning is off because they didn't learn the brain, the cross crawl with crawling first.
yes, yes,
So doing anything, so like even just going with your knees, you can do it even sitting down. Because honestly, energetically, that can help you as well.
okay. And I appreciate that. And I'll just say on the last note, because the first thing that I get as a sign that it's coming is the tinnitus. It's the swash
Oh,
machine
tinnitus, yeah.
in my brain. It just starts, and I'm like, okay, let's just get ready to sit down. Here
Yep.
we go. But you were so helpful, and I will follow up now. You're the second person that I recommended just seeing it. And as I said, I'm not giving up. I've lived a good,
Yeah.
healthy life. I plan on continuing to live a good
Yeah,
healthy.
you're young.
So thank you.
Yeah, no, you're definitely young. That would be the first place. And if you want to have the discussion more, like I said on my website, click on the button that says schedule. It's just a free 30-minute appointment, and we
Okay,
can talk further. But that's the first place I would go, and then go from there.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And thanks to
Yeah.
everyone else for letting me share that. Yes.
Oh, I think we all learn from each other. So if you have those questions, it's going to help somebody else as well.
They're all important.
Yeah.
They are. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And where are you from, Alice?
I'm from Maryland.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice. I've only been there once. And when I first got there, I drove down there and I took the wrong turn and I almost ended up on this really long bridge that would have
I can imagine.
you probably know which bridge I'm talking about. I figured out right away, this is not the bridge because it was going to take me not necessarily out of the country, but it was, and it was late at night. Well, in New Orleans, everything is happening late at night, but it was late enough there wasn't as much traffic, so I could quickly turn around and get
Yeah,
off the
we
bridge.
have our bridges and one that really is not functioning right now. It took a big hit. So yeah.
I bet. Yeah, this was
Mhm.
way before, this is in the early 80s. So this was way before any of those hurricanes affected you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else have questions?
I do, Lynn.
Yes.
All the delicious things that we can eat. I guess most of them would bring up my blood sugar
Some might do
most
that.
of the time.
Exactly.
So I have
Yeah.
to start testing them.
Yep.
Would be it.
Absolutely.
And another thing that I just wanted to make a comment on because you put it in here. Lately, I've been wanting to eat eggs, and I had stopped eating eggs for the longest time.
Mhm.
So I'm having one egg for breakfast every day. Actually, makes me feel very good.
You
Take a
know,
scrambled
and
egg.
this is
It
the thing. I don't follow a food religion, so to speak. I don't, I have been vegan, I have been raw vegan. I've been pescatarian, I've done,
everything.
ketogenic, all of those. And it's like, I decided to go on the Lynn diet. What is best for me?
Mhm.
And that changes, right? So like right
Yes,
now, you are finding an egg a day is helping you feel better. A month from now, you might be like, yeah, nah, I'm not going to do eggs for a while.
not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I was surprised you mentioned it because up to now I had heard that it was so bad for us, but it was delicious for me, so I just went on with it, and
I
that was
know
that.
it's one of the top allergens. So that's where it's like I'm sharing the information that I have from my training, but what's best for you? That's right now in this moment.
That's right. So thank you. Otherwise, yeah, everything sounds really tasty.
It tastes, yeah. And remember, portion is important. So like berries. Some people can do 5 berries and that's all they need in order
Yeah.
to keep their blood sugar at a good level.
Mhm.
And strawberries, any of those things. Like I said before, some people may not do well with grains. Other people, they need them. And that's where I probably fly in the eye of convention. I don't necessarily, many of the people I work with are surprised when I say, well, let's try some oatmeal or something like that. And they're even more surprised when it helps.
That's
And
right.
everything is not a forever thing. It's in this moment. What do you need?
Chocolate. Chocolate is the one I would have
Yes.
problems with. I mean, you're telling me not to eat very much. Mexican, we eat chocolate, you know. That's a good excuse anyway. Whatever you
Right?
want. Yeah,
Again, maybe your body needs more.
I don't know. I
Just
don't
keep the
know. It
sugar
just,
out.
yeah. I just say chocolate and my mouth starts watering. That's all there is
Me
to it.
too.
Yep.
Me too.
So
Yeah.
aside from that, you put in lots of foods that I did not think would be that good for the brain. So it was a good education
Yeah.
for us, I guess, because yes, I never thought grains would be good for the brain. I really didn't.
Yep.
Or chocolate. Uh,
Yep.
but then I just might as well go and say chocolate is good for eating for everything and just start eating it.
Chocolate is good for
I
everything.
can do that.
Right?
Yeah, no, aside from that, thank you, Lynn. It was really very interesting and I learned things. And so I have to read it again
Okay.
just because. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I jumped on that, the chocolate talk. Is cacao safe?
Cacao is, yeah. In
Okay.
fact, there's differentiations. So you'll see cocoa, like Dutch processed or alkali processed cocoa. That's processed. You
That's very
want the
processed.
cacao,
Good, that's,
CACAO, right?
yeah, I've been not as much right now, but for like a month there, I was having that like hot chocolate, cacao hot chocolate with honey. It's so delicious.
Oh,
So
yeah.
good.
But now I have to have it earlier on because the sleep. Yeah, I'm at like a
Right. Yeah. So having done my genetics, I know that I have to be careful with caffeine. I remember like when Red Bull was first introduced, we had a long road trip. So my husband said, well, here, try this.
Yeah.
I think I didn't sleep for 2 days because my body, the way it processes caffeine, it doesn't detox it very well. And now I know why, because I've studied genetics, that for me, caffeine has to be taken in lower doses and earlier in the day. So,
I'm finding. Yeah.
And
It's
how do we find out what's good for us or not?
well, in terms of your genetics, there are genetic testing that you can do. 23andMe is the most commonly used, and then you run it through. So like I use this one here, genetic detoxification,
Oh my goodness.
and
Yes.
and you get a report, and then what I have been doing is I'll go through their genetic report, and I also like to get people's blood reports, their blood labs, and then I have a software program I run that through, and I look at them both and put together like a little spreadsheet that says these are the foods you need to support your genetics as well as your where your blood levels are at, and then maybe supplements for these further testing here. And it's helped with some doctors because doctors don't want to do too much. In fact, trying to get a vitamin D level test is sometimes,
Yes,
it
it is.
feels impossible. It's ridiculous.
It's difficult.
And but it helps them. It's just more information to give a doctor that says, hey, I need to know my homocysteine levels because I have these genetics with inflammation. So I need to keep an eye on that. So,
Mm.
Lynn, do you do other testing like so I've been allergic to nuts like 20 years ago. And I've done like sensitivity tests, but I really want to get retested for nuts. And yeah, like is
Right.
that
there are blood and urine tests that you can do. They are a little expensive.
yeah,
But unless it's not, is this like a life altering allergy, or is it more like, I don't want you to do an elimination diet and then
oh yeah,
then die because you added nuts in.
yeah, I was what is that term? Anaphylactic with the nuts.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
so you don't want to be playing with that one.
I'm petrified. And I don't have an
Yeah. Yeah. I'll send you the information I have because there are some that are better than others. Yeah, they tend to be expensive, but some testing is better than no testing.
Right. Yeah. And yeah. Thank you. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Can I ask one more? L-theanine. So I'm aware that I really need this in my life. Would you take it? And I love matcha, but I don't always have that all the time. Would you suggest taking that at nighttime or during the day?
Especially with what you said, I would take it in the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And closer to a meal, not with a meal, but closer to a meal.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, this was really, really helpful. Thank you so much.
You're so
Mhm.
welcome. Thank you for being here. Any other questions? Anything else I can be helpful with? No?
No, Lynn, but I will follow up with you and connect, and I just want to thank you. I just feel like this made my day. I feel like I'm
Oh,
having a good
thank you.
start. Thank you. So, and thank you, ladies, as well for your contributions. But
Yes.
someone sent me just an email this morning. You may want to jump on this. Don't take it personally, Alice, but you could use this. And I was like,
Oh,
I'm not taking it
Uh,
personally, but I'm so glad I jumped
maybe
on.
later you can tell me who that is. 'Cause
Yeah, yeah.
was
I'd
gonna
say that
ask
was
you.
a good.
I was gonna ask, how did you find out? Because I was like, I don't think I've seen Alice before.
Yeah, she's a wonderful young lady. She does some work with me. I do a lot of independent contracting work, and she does some incredible administrative work with me. We were just together yesterday. I don't even feel comfortable doing events by myself now without having another person with me.
Oh.
And so just an incredible, wise Sonia. I don't know if she's on today, but she is just been incredible. She just, said, Alice, has just dropped in my box, and I think it's something that would benefit you, but don't take it personally. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'd say
Oh,
that's a good friend who
that's
told
what I
you
was
that.
just gonna say. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And it
Well,
has, Lynn. It really has. Thank you to all of you. Thank you.
well, tell her thank you from me.
Yes.
You're going to learn a lot from Lynn, you know. You really will. She's got everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I've known her for many years and I learn from her all the time. Yes.
Yeah.
So grateful.
All right. Well, if you're watching the recording of this and you have any questions, again, please feel free to reach out to me. And I live to serve. I live to learn to work with other people because I am a happy hermit, but that is not my life purpose. It is to work with people and to be there to support them. So, all right.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm gonna just
Thank
stop
you.
the recording. There we go.